all of them backed the Caesar, overthrowing the Senate, who tried to bring, you know, freedoms back to the people, and then he got murdered.
Hey, Nino, what's going on?
Hey, not too much.
All right, so there's a couple things we need to talk to you about, and
we can hop in the car. Let's drive around while we do this.
One thing that was brought to my attention so the court case, I think it's the People versus Cohen Riker.
Yes.
There is an internal command report that is being used as evidence for that.
Okay.
It was
Is that legal?
Well, that's what we're talking about.
Oh.
As far as I can tell, it was not properly FOIA'd. It was simply just exported by Angel from the MDT and submitted as evidence. It has notes regarding basically disciplinary action and Cohen Riker's, firing from the former assistant chief of police as well as other command members.
Oh my God, Lord have mercy.
And I have not brought this up to Angel yet because I was trying to determine is what she did a violation of the FOIA Act.
It also brings, did he have statements in there?
He did have a statement, which is why I think it was used for his statement. But if that was the case, then everything else should have been redacted. And our concern is...
Oh my God.
Bro,
that brings into so many civil rights questions.
What jurisdiction
even though we want...
do the Marshals have over internal PD documents? I understand that they can see them, they can, review them for internal investigative purposes, but my concern is that if any command report can be used as evidence,
happening already
in criminal proceedings, I worry that people will not be candid within, their statements if they know that the public will eventually see them. Because that was not the intent when that report was made. And per the FOIA legislation, you can't... See, here is the loophole. The FOIA legislation states that a person cannot FOIA those reports. However, this was a government entity that took a report of another government entity. So I don't know if she can do that or not.
Okay, I'm gonna... the real answer is I don't know. But my brain is firing a million miles a minute between... It brings into question now Garrity rights. It brings into question...
We don't have Garrity rights in Los Santos, by the way.
Say.
Sure, and while that's true, we don't inherently have them, but the principles of why and how they arrived may be there. You kind of get what I'm saying?
And it also... let me hold on. Let me look at this report really quickly, because if Cohen Riker's statement is in there, was he Mirandized prior to making that statement?
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Because if he wasn't Mirandized, that cannot be submitted. Granted, I understand that the other officer testimony that's in there, that was their written statement, but also, they weren't Mirandized. This is just...
Yeah.
I think that this has opened up... I just don't know the legitimacy of this report.
Why didn't they just do it, without doing all this? It's so open and shut. I don't understand. This... I don't know.
I don't... Listen, The perception I get with some of the marshal stuff is like they're coming in swinging their dicks. Like I had a cadet working on a case. He was like, he was on scene with something, and I guess the marshals ended showing up. Something
Yeah,
about
the one that I had. Yeah, unless it's a different one. This morning I woke up and I found a tape.
yeah,
at
that
my
one.
door.
That's exactly what I'm talking
And
about.
so I'm like,
they took that.
oh, this could be fun. I called them up. It didn't seem like anything serious, and like a marshal showed up, and I'm like, okay, like it wasn't even like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, yeah, Hannah had that. So apparently Hannah had his hands on that tape, and they came in and just took it from him.
yeah. Oh man, yeah. I mean, the reality is, they can probably do whatever they want, and that's probably the gut feeling, right? Should they? No, but I don't think they're gonna be necessarily considerate.
I will check with Bell, but I can't imagine that Bell read him his rights before this conversation, and if she didn't, and now it's being used against him, this is not admissible in court.
I think you might be right.
And
how is
if Commander Corps, I think we need to establish a protocol. I'm fine with her using, tools for investigation, but I do think that she needs to go through the proper channels of FOIing reports, and she needs to let us know. And then if there are internal comments, such as Ruby York's, which don't add anything other than, I would say a little bit of spice, they need to be redacted, because they aren't integral to the investigation or the claims.
Yeah, this is for me, this kind of highlights like a general feeling that I had, which is the notion of are they, I don't know. I don't know. This is, oh my lord. There's so many fucking questions that are boiling in my head.
It's unfortunate, obviously, because I think that the statement that Cohenrecker made is probably pretty crucial to their case. But if he wasn't Mirandized, it should not be used. But I also think, in my personal opinion, that Peters should probably take over this conversation, because for some reason I don't really want to be involved with it.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
Yep, I feel you. Yeah, to me, look, at face value, it looks like these guys are trying to exert all their powers, and it's gonna, it's gonna end up with egg on their face, to be honest. Regardless of which way it goes, like the general precedent of taking shit over without there being like a good process in place, right? The general notion of them being able to look into things, like being able to look at everything and just grab it and throw it wherever they want. That's, like you said, that's dangerous as well, because that prevents you guys from being able to properly function. And without any guidelines, without any,
let's get out of Mirror Park.
Without any guidelines, without any processes, like it to me just kind of sounds like they can just come in and do whatever the fuck they want, which is, not healthy for anybody.
I agree. Okay, so I think what we need to do is we need to establish with Callista Bell as to whether or not he was read his rights. We need to then go to Angel and bring this information forward, either way. And we need to speak to her about creating some kind of policy, or I think in this case it may have to even be legislation, because it's department to department, it's not interdepartmental. and establishing protocol for FOIAing reports between departments.
Yeah, the way the marshal kind of like the legislation is it's very loose as far as I don't know what they can do. It's like why so a FOIA, so they directly oversee the police department, right? I think somewhere in the legislation it says like they have God, what is it?
For probably like internal, you know, police reviews, but this man is also no longer a police officer, you know?
Yeah, and oh my God. I don't know. This sounds so fucking cooked.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro. What the fuck is happening?
As soon as we can. And, you know, it'll just, you know, they can just redact it on their motion to remove evidence, you know, based on it not being admissible. If in fact he was not Mirandized.
What charges is Riker receiving?
Let me look. Evidence tampering and perjury.
Listen, I know you guys don't know Max, but it sounds like fucking Max's fucking malfunction baby popped out and it became the Marshals. It's what my guts.
I know Max.
You did?
Yeah. He was chief when I got hired. Well, he assumed the role of chief when I got, or commissioner, excuse me, when I got hired. And then abandoned us.
All right. Peters and I will look into this further. We'll keep you on the loop, Nino, and we'll figure it out.
Okay.
In addition to that,
bro, what the actual, bro, my brain right now.
Opal Price brought to our attention the seized cash that's currently in evidence lockers at MRPD, and said, shouldn't that go back to the state after the statute of limitations? Did they talk to you about that?
Say that one more time.
So when we do raids, sometimes during a raid, we will find large sums of cash, and it can be articulated that it is seized because that cash came from illegal means. You know, it was as a result of some kind of crime. That cash is then put into an evidence locker and it sits there. What they suggested is that after the statute of limitations and passes, that cash should go back to the state budget. There is probably, and I would have, it would be kind of a process of going through. There is potentially millions of dollars sitting at MRPD right now in seized assets.
You think they said one evidence locker had a couple $100 grand in it?
They said 400,000.
So I think so the way that I've been approaching legislation is, I've been looking at it from this lens. The DOJ has a history, and therefore there is no reason to believe that history is going to change, that regardless of who sits at the top, there is, like, let's just call it the ADHD problem, which is between the short length of court cases mixed with sometimes arguments kind of being all over the place. Sometimes a judge will miss the inherent points being presented. And therefore, even though you can derive certain, like, standards based on what exists, it's better to hand feed. So, what I mean by this is, I think legislation for this thing needs to be passed that underlines that the county in which money is seized after 30 days, we are able to recoup it. So that way, that particular thing does not need to be argued individually in court, but rather it's just a summary legislation.
That was my mindset. Because Opal and Anna brought this forward, you know, I have asked them to come up with a draft of legislation. Anna said that she, you know, wanted to do that. So I want to, you know, we're in the process of trying to foster, you know, interests of our officers. And if that's something that she wants to take on, I want her to. So she said that she's currently working on a draft for legislation. I told her that it needs to be explicit that we can articulate that the money seized was used in a crime.
All right.
And that she needs to go through and find evidence of this and gather reports related to this so that we can show proof of this.
Yeah.
And that only when that legislation has passed and we can clearly, you know, whether it's gone through an appeal or whatever, then the money will be seized. I do think that it also needs to state in the legislation that, you know, whoever the money was seized from has 30 days to appeal it. After that, it's forfeit.
Okay.
So we give them the opportunity to get the money back. I think that's very important.
Okay. Yeah, I 100% agree.
At the same time, if we can't articulate why we took that money, we shouldn't have taken it.
Yes, I agree with that. I will say that alongside this, and this is something that was planned for way down the line because there's just so much other things on our plate, is there needs to be some kind of unaccounted for money laws, right? Now,
what do you mean?
So right now we don't tax on like 90% of money transactions in the city, be it car repairs, because once the material is out there, everything in that system is not taxed. People are even trading houses for $1. All this moonshine that's being sold, the drugs that are being sold, that shit's probably going right into bank accounts. However, there isn't really anything that in legislation, unless once again you derive it, that allows the state or law enforcement to actually seize that. So in other words, civil forfeiture law. In fact, Opal came to me yesterday to talk about moonshiners and whatnot. Oops. Bro, I don't know, man. My brain is cooked right now. Yo, Kirby, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Loo-doo-doo. Yeah, I don't even know, like, conceptually, what the picture should even look like. It's not about whether it's good or not. Like, remember, Nino. Oh shit, both of us popped. It's just, it's the principle, the precedence of it all is just yikes. Do 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 do. All right. Oh, he popped too. I was like, okay, all right, fine. Oh my lord. Do do. Do do. Yo, killer goat. Hey. I don't know what it feels to be retarded, so my condolences, your birth mother. I'm sure you were a handful. Yo, Jaco, thank you for the 1 year. Appreciate you.
1 year, let's go.
That level of passion behind RP, brother, this is make-believe. This isn't real. Relax.
Hi, Ventura. Good, how are you? I just wanted to check, were they able to locate that package?
Do 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 do. Oh, there he is. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yep,
Okay.
can hear you now.
Okay.
They got
right.
us.
I'm gonna let you work on this.
Oh, she's on the phone.
Report back to me, when you have some ideas, okay? All right. Do you know if so Peach is Peter's assistant? Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you coordinate with Peach? See if she's located Peter's stars. All right. Thank you. All right. I appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Fuck. What else was I gonna say? Are we done about the Marshals conversation?
Yeah.
I'll talk to you. I can talk to you more about that, and then I'll talk to Angel about it.
Yep. I did want to bring up that. Okay. So I've been speaking with the state.
Can we go to Mission Row? I just want to make sure I'm gonna be able to wake up there, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll go there.
Storm.
So I've been speaking with the state. The best way I can describe the current budget is I feel like I got zero wiggle room. So there's going to be a lot of like ups and downs. So letting officers know that, like, listen, I'm going to do what I can to try to, depending on how conversations go with the state, budget's going to be all over the place until it's figured out.
Apparently we owe Cornwood $150,000 for Air One, by the way.
Wait, why?
I guess he fronted $300,000 for Air One.
If that's the case and we pay him, I don't want BCSO using it.
No, that's half of what, like they owe him $150,000.
Wait.
We owe him $150,000.
Oh fuck! It's like 1.2 million, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look. I'm gonna be straight, right? I got a phone call yesterday that there was an individual. I told you about this actually, didn't I?
You want to take it inside?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. You got a couple of slow walkers, Nino.
Yep. Yeah, I got a little pep in my step. I'm asking for camera toll booths. I put in a request.
Oh, that's great.
Yep. It's one-way ticketing.
We could go in here. Go in the meeting room.
Hey. All right, fantastic. Good work. All right, you too. Bye-bye.
Yeah. All right. So, the LSPD budget is entirely yours to control. And, if incidents are happening with Blaine County, if they decide to process somewhere, that is completely within your purview, whether you'd like that to happen, whether you're not, don't want that to happen. Obviously, it affects your budget, what you're able to purchase. In the long term, and this is the clarity that I'm trying to get from the state, is the intent. Like, what is the intent of the PD budget? And the reason I'm asking him this is I'm not sure if they considered the fact that given that the county no longer makes any money outside of moonshine ops being closed off, we don't get any monetary money back from the PD. My argument back is there needs to be an incentivization by the county to have police. I know that kind of sounds a little stupid, but from the perspective of civilians, if they're like, hey, why can't we do materials, just reduce a PD pay? I need a way to go back and be like, well, this is what they're doing for us, because you understand, right? If we're like, well, they protect us, they're gonna be like, well, we could protect ourselves. You know what I mean? So as those conversations happen with the state, I'm gonna get clarity. But in addition to that, I'm trying to find ways to make sure that not only are you guys getting paid well, but if the budget problem continues the way that it is, to instead find ways that I can offset your costs, whether it's through repairs that are subsidized or food or whatever kind of solves this problem. If there are any ideas that you guys have, please do let me know, and I'll try my best to try to accommodate it. But I do want to underline that legislatively, if you put an announcement out and you're like, crimes in Los Santos need to, be processed here, you inherently have mandated that it cannot be done anymore. And that may solve some of your budgeting issues. Now, they may challenge that in court, but...
What's the current budget look like?
What, with a PD?
No, just the general budget. You think you said it was at like 900,000 or something?
Oh, we're back up to, I think, like 1.9 million, I think. So Saturdays it's going to dip, but then it's going to go up during the week. Okay. The issue, though, is the biggest problem that I have right now, and this goes back to my back and forth with the county, is I'm not sure if you've noticed, but like repair shops do not have cop pods. And the best way I can explain this is we've got a wiggle room of what I am estimating is $3 million. But
And
Sandy Saturday costs the county $4 million.
Hello.
okay.
And-
And then
yeah.
what is the current PD pay rate?
It's 1,000, but now that Soze spoke to somebody and we're no longer paying for Blaine County for while they're down here, I'm gonna bring it back up to 1,500. So
Fantastic. I think that'll be helpful for people.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna run. I will see you at the meeting.
Yep.
All
right.
right.
Or hearts. Okay, I'll call you back. I got to talk to the mayor. Bye. Okay, Peach says hi and she misses you.
Oh yeah, we gotta link up soon.
She can't wait to get kinked. Okay. Okay, so Monday's gonna be my day off, I think, moving forwards. But I wanted to come around this morning, so I'll be around for the meeting. Then after that, I gotta I gotta make sure I'm getting some.
Stick around for an hour, bro. Come on.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'll be around for an hour.
Yeah.
So, all right, I will. So Hannah, huh? Actually, I need to sleep.
Oh no,
here
I was
so
just
can wake
trolling
up
about that. You know, it was
here. Oh
bait.
fuck! I already promoted him.
Fuck. Let me send you some names to consider.
Okay.
All right.
All right, I'm going to sleep.
All right. See you soon.